Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Carbon tax Mark Carney is in Edmonton, Alberta today, announcing that he will be running in the Liberal NDP leadership race to be the next Prime Minister of Canada. Mr. North Ferratu, the carnivore Carney. He gets off to a rough start. This is his logo right here. And it is trademark infringement right off the bat. They stole it from Met Credit, and you can't make this stuff up. The ultra elite banker, globalist investor steals a logo from a commercial debt collection agency. Seriously. He goes on to say that he's coming from behind and they're going to win this election. Listen. Listen to this.
I want to say how grateful I am to the many, many Liberals, many Canadians who aren't all Liberals yet, but, part of the process. The many, many Canadians who have reached out and are already helping and have offered help. And to my fellow Liberals, I commit we're all wearing the same sweater. I'll work hard to earn your trust and your partnership. And I'm coming into this match, coming into this game, knowing that we are well behind. But we're getting warmed up, and we're going to head out in that third period, and we're going to win.
Oh, great analogy. Throw that hockey analogy out there. He's got a great marketing team.
Because that's what happened when I grew up in Laurier. And we were down between the second and third period. And the fight back starts now. We are going to win the general election. But that's not the point. The point is what we do when we win the general election. And that's to get out there and work for our fellow Canadians every day. It's to get out there and build a strong economy that works for everyone. It's coming together to stand up for Canada against Donald Trump. It's coming together to build an even better Canada. I want to say how
Mark Carney will not win the next election unless something just unbelievable happens. The reason he won't win is there's just way too much ammo out there on social media to just bury this guy. It's ridiculous to think that he would offer anything different than what the Liberal NDP party is right now, because he has supported this Liberal government every step of the way. He is the advisor to Justin Trudeau. He is exactly the same as Justin Trudeau. He goes as far back for the climate change initiative, the net zero initiative, as praising the carbon tax. And now he's saying he wants to get rid of the carbon tax. And same with Chrystia Freeland. They're both saying that it's just not the right time. He is the godfather to Chrystia Freeland's son. Like, it's ridiculous if anybody thinks that he offers something different. If you watch his mannerisms, he has stolen or using the exact same persona as Barack Obama. Lots of pauses, lots of leaning, lots of bubbly references to whoever it is that he's talking to. And he uses personal stories, hoping that you snag onto that and he hooks you. So you believe that he is actually grounded in grassroots or something humble, something that you have in common. You have absolutely nothing in common with Mark Carney. Nothing. Zero. Do you know who you do have something in common with, though? Pierre Poilievre. Humble beginnings. This press conference was really good. Pierre Poilievre is starting to hit attack mode, and you can tell. He's sharp. Check this out. It's great.
Hello, my name's Yvette Brand. I'm from CBC. Could I ask that you also answer in French for my colleagues who...
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Oui, merci.
Yeah. You could be Prime Minister within a few months in this country. Would you be willing to impose export tax or restrictions on Canadian oil? Because you'll be dealing with Trump's threats of tariffs. This would put pressure on the Trump administration. Or is this off the table for you as it is for Danielle Smith in Alberta?
Well, first of all, I think that the first thing that President Trump should do when he gets into the Oval Office is to send a big bouquet of flowers to the Liberal government in Ottawa. By blocking pipelines and LNG plants in Canada, the Liberals have forced Canadians to sell almost all of our energy to the United States, giving President Trump massive leverage in making these tariff threats. Had they allowed the Energy East and Northern Gateway pipelines to go ahead, had they rapidly approved LNG plants to sell the natural gas that Japan, Greece, Germany, and other countries were looking for us to sell them directly, we wouldn't have to give 100%, almost 100% of our hydrocarbons to the Americans at discount prices, and you wouldn't have had to ask me that question. Because I would have answered, in that scenario, I would have answered, we'll go around the Americans. We'll sell our energy directly. But that's something that the Liberals would not let us do. Freeland supported killing the Energy East pipeline, which would have moved 1 million barrels of Western oil to the St. John refinery and off to Europe, by the way, which would have helped defund Putin. Carney testified in the industry committee that he was against the Northern Gateway pipeline to take Canadian oil to Asia without going through the United States. By the way, while his company buys pipelines in the Middle East and in Brazil. How unpatriotic is that? So, frankly, the Liberals have got us in this mess by making us beholden to the Americans and giving them, the Americans, our energy at massive price discounts, selling our oil for $15 typically below the market rate, and selling them natural gas for $4 per million metric British thermal units when they're going for $13 in Europe. That is economic sadomasochism. And I will put an end to it. When I'm Prime Minister, we will repeal the anti-energy law C-69. We will rapidly approve LNG plants and any other private sector unsubsidized investments to expand our ability to sell our energy without going through the Americans. And I will unite our people. We see right now that not only have the Liberals weakened our economy, now they're resorting to dividing our people. Divide and conquer. Right when the president is threatening us with tariffs, what is the first thing the Liberal Party of Freeland and Carney think to do? Divide Canadians. Divide our provinces. We don't need to be divided. We need to be united. All provinces, all Canadians. Let's put Canada first. Thank you.
Could you answer the question, though?
So the reporter in the background says, could you answer the question, though? She wanted to know if Pierre Poilievre is going to tariff oil and gas exports from Canada to the United States or whatever that might look like. Pierre Poilievre, that's a loaded question. It's a hypothetical. He will never, ever answer yes or no. It's extremely irresponsible if he does that. But what he'll probably end up doing is it'll be critical mineral exports like uranium and things like that. They're going to figure out a way to go after Wall Street and hit investors versus hitting the American people and vice versa, hitting the Canadian people. They'll focus on tanking the dollar and getting the investments, the investors pissed off because they are the heart of the donors and they are the heart of everything else after the fact. And they can take the hit. They can take the first hit, the first big hit anyway, because they're billionaires. They are the Mark Carneys. That's what I would expect. I'm no expert, but that's what I can see because it affects the regular American and the regular middle class Canadian the least. And it's something that both countries don't want to do. They want this resolved. They want a good deal. They want to figure it out. Western independence, maybe that might be a great thing. Imagine if Alberta was independent, can make up its own mind, create its own destiny, and work with the United States or become part of the United States. We can vote on it. Either way, it's better. It is way better than what we have to deal with right now and year after year after year into the future with this ultra systemically corrupt federal government. Speaking of ultimate corruption, here is Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, little potato, on his way out the door. Listen to what he has to say about Alberta, Danielle Smith, and its gaslighting and its lies.
I think it was really important yesterday as we met with first ministers from across the country that premiers have an opportunity to express the interests of their citizens, of their industry, of their area. Certainly, I don't blame Danielle Smith for speaking up for her industry. That's part of her job. But every single premier other than Danielle Smith then chose to put Canada first and say, but we're all part of Team Canada because what happens to any part of us happens to all of us, and we will be there to respond strongly, to fight for Canada, and to do it in a united way that makes sure that it's fair across all industries, across all regions. That was what we came together yesterday to do. I would actually like to point out to Danielle Smith that Canadians know the importance of standing up for each other. That's why Canadian taxpayers bought the Trans Mountain Pipeline Expansion, TMX, to be able to get Albertan oil to new markets. That was an investment that all Canadians made, that the Alberta government is making billions of dollars off of, because in what was a very difficult decision, the federal government, we made the decision to purchase and build and complete that pipeline. That's an example of all Canadians standing up for Alberta and getting it done. So yes, premiers should be advocating for their own industries, their own country, their own communities, but they should also put their country first, as every single premier except Danielle Smith did. Now, I could point to any number of those premiers and point out lots of moments in which they have points of disagreement with me. From Doug Ford to Scott Moe to Tim Houston to even David Eby and Wab Kinew and others. There's all sorts of disagreements we're going to have. But when push comes to shove, every single one of them are Canadians first. And yes, they're going to look out for their communities, but they also know that looking out for all of us is what everyone in their communities expect us to do. And on top of that, I think it's very clear that right now, Pierre Poilievre, who wants to be Prime Minister for all Canadians, has a choice to make. Either he stands up to fight for all Canadians alongside all premiers and the federal government that are doing that, or he chooses to stand with Danielle Smith, Kevin O'Leary, and ultimately Donald Trump.
So Justin Trudeau says that we expect our politicians, blah, 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 Canada first. He should be calling an election then. He should have resigned. He should not have prorogued Parliament. He put Canada, he left Canada vulnerable. He completely dissolved all national unity. Canada first? Yeah, he needs to call an election and start acting like a real leader. He is not. They were forced to buy the Trans Mountain Pipeline because it was ballooning out of cost because of red tape that his government put in front of all of these pipeliners, all of these builders. It's ridiculous. And it didn't bring it to any new markets. It takes it right back down to the only market that we have. He is a gaslighter and a liar. Can't wait till he is gone. Here is Danielle Smith talking about a Team Canada. How about this for building a Team Canada approach? Stop threatening the livelihoods of tens of thousands of Albertans and Canadians via an energy export tax or ban. Immediately start construction on the Northern Gateway and Energy East pipelines to diversify our customer base to Europe, Asia, and our own country. Tell Germany, Japan, and the rest of the world that there is, in fact, a business case for Canadian oil and gas to be sold to them. For all of you out there that don't know, this business case, quote, was from Justin Trudeau. He said there's no business case for LNG. The Americans built all these LNG ports, and now they're making bazillions of dollars. Justin Trudeau is so unqualified and just incompetent. Number 4, repeal the unconstitutional and job-killing production cap electricity regulations and Bill C-69. Bill C-69 is what destroyed Trans Mountain to begin with. They could see it coming. Number 5, treat with respect and as an equal partner the Alberta taxpayers that have been transferring hundreds of billions of dollars to Quebec, the Maritimes, and even Ontario for decades. Let's start there on building our Team Canada approach. So now you can see where Danielle Smith is coming from when she refuses to sign some empty document about building a Team Canada. There is no Team Canada when other provinces are treated better and differently than other provinces. It is unreal. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care, and follow me on Substack, Spotify, and YouTube.